Hello from the forge again. Our last video was from Oak Island, North Carolina. We were on vacation catching a few Spanish mackerel, looking for kings, but apparently they hadn't come in close enough to the beach yet. So now we're back in the forge. It's been kind of challenging making videos lately because I'm constantly trying to rush to get Christmas orders out. But today, I found a few minutes. We're going to do just free forging some kind of blade. Got a piece of 1095. It's a 1/4 inch thick, about 1.5 inches wide. Going to get it hot, smack it a few times, and let's see what happens. So we're going to start out, as always, by drawing the tip down. Start by working the bar out to a point. And I can already see I'm making a mistake right here. Those of you that do much forging, you can see it too. I'm getting what I call a fish mouth at the end of the bar. I should have drawn it down right. I'm going to have to nip that off. Otherwise, it's going to end up being a flaw in the blade. So I'll put my hardy cutter in, figure out which way I want to turn it. And we'll nip that little mistake right off. Cut it most of the way through and then just work the little part I want cut off back and forth until it finally snaps, and that's good enough for me. If you use a hardy cutter, you don't ever want to drive through enough so that your hammerhead hits your hardy cutter. You're either going to mar your hammerhead or mar your cutter. So we'll just go back to working that point down now that we don't have to worry about the fish lips, the fish mouth. Try to keep it even. Probably going to be too long a point, but oh well. Drawing out too long a point seems to be the bane of my existence. Try to keep our thickness fairly parallel at this point. Try not to let it get too far out of shape. I think I want a blade with a little, I don't know if I want like a shark fin on top or if I want just a hump in the blade. So I'm actually offsetting the spine of the blade down. Straighten everything back up. Not too bad. Now we're going to make another offset. And that's going to be the juncture of the blade and the handle. Really should have went and got a pair of tongs that fit, but the shop's a mess and I just couldn't be bothered to go through the trouble of looking. So we'll struggle through with these. You can kind of see my preform coming up. Wasn't sure if I wanted a straight back hunter, but you know, I think I want a little curve on this knife at this point. So instead of bending the blade down, I'm just going to leave it like it is so I get a nice curve. Make sure everything's level, flat. Just about ready to start drawing the steel down away from the spine, from the thick part. And that's what we'll start doing. I'm using the hammer to pull the steel down from the spine. Now that widens the blade, and it will also start to cause the blade to curve up toward the spine. As I do this, I'm also working a taper in from the handle to the tip. You can see how that's widening the blade. I could go right there and do the rest with the grinder and make a really nice little straight hunter, but nah. I want a curve in it. I want more of a Skinner. So we're going to pull some steel down from back here at the heel. Just going to pull it down and make it match the front part of the blade. It's looking pretty good so far. Trying to be careful and keep everything center. Yep, that tip's going to be a little too long, just like I thought. Yeah, fix that with a grinder. Keep working it. Try to keep that taper uniform from back to front and from spine to edge. Want the edge drawn down to about the thickness of a dime. Now you notice I'm just using a little piece of wood just to do a little light work on the profile. Now some planishing blows with the hammer. Take out some of the hammer marks. Really trying to make sure everything stays nice and straight at this point. It's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So let's get to work on the handle. First thing we're going to do is cut it off the length. Mark it. Cut one side, mark it. It's a lot cooler than it looks in that video. We'll go back and use our marks and work the other side. Move that hardy cutter. Never work. Oh, drop forged. If you don't drop what you're working on at least once, you're not doing it right. If you don't move the hardy cutter off the anvil, when you go back to forging, you're prone to smashing a knuckle on that sharp edge, and that can be a really bad day. Now I want a little taper in that handle. I want it to taper from the back of the blade on towards the hilt. Looking pretty good. Work my contour out a little more. Planish out the hammer marks. Make sure everything's straight. Yep, that's pretty nice. I believe that's going to be just about it. It'll do. Well, we managed to get that done. It's not bad. Nice little upswept Skinner. It's going to be kind of handle heavy, and I prefer my knives to be handle heavy rather than blade heavy unless it's going to be a chopper. It's fine. The balance is going to be good. It's forged nearly to finish. That's how I wanted it. Cleaned up the profile on the grinder just a little bit. I shortened that point. Points always seem to give me trouble. I always end up making them too long. So the blade has been normalized 3 times. We're going to throw it back in the forge, get it up to critical temperature, put it in the anneal, and get it ready for finish. And I do appreciate you watching, if you're still watching. This may have been a little bit of a long one, but thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure and like and subscribe. Click that bell button so you get the notifications when we upload new content. Be sure and leave us a comment in the comment section. Thank you all. God bless and have a great evening.